COVID-19 cases in Malaysia hit 900 with 110 new infections. Government approves another 160 million ringgit to fight COVID-19's second wave. Good evening, thanks for joining us. You're watching News on 2. I'm Jessica Lee. Another 110 new COVID-19 cases were reported today, raising the total number of confirmed cases to 900 in the country. Health Minister Datuk Seri Dr. Adam Babar says 63 new cases were linked to a cluster which gathered at the Sri Petaling Mosque, where a public event was held. Speaking at the media conference in Putrajaya, Datuk Seri Dr. Adam said of the total, 20 cases are being treated at the intensive care unit or ICU with respiratory aid needed. He said that 15 cases have been cured and were allowed to return home, making the number that been cured and discharged to 75. To date, he says Selangor recorded the highest number of COVID-19 cases with 223.
Perintah kawalan pergerakan diikuti dengan negeri ataupun wilayah Persekutuan Kuala Lumpur 123 kes, diikuti dengan Sabah 112 kes, Johor 101 kes, Negeri Sembilan 55 kes, Sarawak 51 kes, Kelantan 44 kes, Kedah 40 kes, Perak 35 kes, Pulau Pinang 10 kes, 32 kes, Pulau Pinang ulang balik 32 kes, Pahang 32 kes, Terengganu 11 kes, Perlis 9 kes, wilayah Persekutuan Putrajaya di sinilah 6 kes, dan wilayah Persekutuan Labuan 5 kes. Keseluruhan kes COVID-19 dalam negara selepas 12 hari ini 900 kes.
Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin today announced an additional allocation of 160 million ringgit to be channeled to 26 hospitals in the country to contain the COVID-19 outbreak second wave. The Premier said allocation could be utilised to purchase medical and non-medical assets.
Saya akan beritahulah kepada Menteri Kewangan supaya kita dapat luluskan dengan seberapa segera, kerana ini adalah suatu krisis yang agak serius yang tak boleh kita lengah-lengahkan.
Met after visiting Permai Hospital in Johor Bahru, Tan Sri Muhyiddin said so far the government had approved more than 259 million ringgit for the purchase of medicines, equipment and various other needs to contain the spread of COVID-19 nationwide.
Selama tempoh 2 minggu ini, saudara-saudari dan anak-anak hanya perlu berada di rumah. Just stay at home. Luangkan masa bersama-sama anak, isteri dan ahli keluarga. Tidak perlulah keluar ke mana-mana. Dengan cara ini, saudara-saudari terhindar daripada jangkitan COVID-19 dan penularan wabak ini insya-Allah dapat kita bendung. Inilah tujuan sebenar Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan dilaksanakan oleh kerajaan.
The Cabinet has set up a committee comprising 19 ministries to coordinate actions on COVID-19 and the Movement Control Order. Now, speaking at a press conference on COVID-19, Defence Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the committee had convened twice earlier and will continue to do so until the 31st of March.
Mesyuarat Kabinet semalam telah memutuskan untuk mewujudkan jatuhan kuasa khas menteri-menteri mengenai pelaksanaan Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan yang melibatkan 19 kementerian, 19 menteri, KSN, MKN, IGP, PAT, AG, KSU-KSU, kementerian-kementerian.
Among others, the committee discussed reports by the police on actions taken during the movement control order. He also hoped that people will take the movement control order seriously to safeguard their health and life. On the international Tabligh gathering in Indonesia, the minister said about 89 Malaysians who had arrived in Goa, Makassar, will be quarantined once they return to the country. The minister added that Malaysia is also currently in discussions with Singapore to allow about 300,000 Malaysians employed in the island to continue working if they are provided accommodation by their Singapore employers.
Mesti cuba mengelakkan.
On another note, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri said the government will only mobilise the military if the people continue to disregard the movement control order. He also said that he had full confidence that for now, PDRM will be able to keep the situation under control.
Itu cadangan kita bahawa kemungkinan besar jika keadaan masih lagi tidak dapat dikawal sepenuhnya, maka tentera kemungkinan akan digunakan. Jadi sebelum tentera digunakan, saya percaya mungkin tidak perlu. Tetapi jika tidak ada pilihan, pematuhan masih kekal setakat 60%, 70%, saya percaya kemungkinan besar tentera akan digunakan.
The minister, however, said he was confident more would abide by the movement control order. Meanwhile, he said the police have warned of possible arrests against those who go out of their houses without valid reasons under the Prevention and Control Infectious Diseases Act 1988 and the Police Act 1967.
Daripada Kementerian
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Perintah kawalan pergerakan selama 14 hari di negara kita. Dengan kata-kata mudah, sila duduk di rumah dan jarakkan diri anda daripada orang lain sekurang-kurangnya 1 meter. Tempoh inkubasi COVID-19 adalah selama 14 hari. Kita mempunyai peluang yang tipis untuk memutuskan rangkaian jangkitan COVID-19. Jika kita gagal, kemungkinan perintah kawalan pergerakan akan dilanjutkan. Bantulah Kementerian Kesihatan Malaysia dengan memainkan peranan anda kerana setiap individu bertanggungjawab untuk mengambil segala langkah-langkah pencegahan demi keselamatan diri dan keluarga anda. Kegagalan bukan pilihan di sini. Jika tidak, kita mungkin menghadapi gelombang ketiga virus ini yang akan seterusnya menjadi lebih besar seperti tsunami. Lebih-lebih lagi jika kita mempunyai sikap tidak kisah. Saya merayu kepada semua rakyat Malaysia, sila ambil perintah kawalan pergerakan ini secara serius. Duduk di rumah dan jangan keluar.
The Malaysian Armed Forces today dismissed social media reports claiming that special military helicopters have been used to spray disinfectants purportedly to destroy COVID-19 across the country. Armed Force Chief General Tan Sri Afendi Buang said the news was fake and asked everyone to stop spreading the false information. In a statement, the Armed Forces Chief warned that such fake news could create panic among the public, adding any person found to be spreading false news can be prosecuted under Section 233 of the Communications and Multimedia Act 1998. As such, he asked the public to refrain from sharing or disseminating false information. Earlier today, a message went viral on social media claiming that special military helicopters will spray disinfectants against COVID-19 nationwide and that people must stay indoors after midnight. The Foreign Ministry will assist the relevant authorities in identifying the 89 Malaysians who had planned to join the Tabligh event in Goa, Indonesia. Minister concerned, Datuk Seri Syamuddin Tun Hussein, was responding on the government's stand that all the participants would be quarantined upon their return to Malaysia. Earlier in his Twitter post, the foreign minister expressed relief that the Indonesian authorities and organisers had decided to postpone the gathering in Goa, adding many had messaged him on the dangers of the gathering. A similar event in Malaysia recently had subsequently led to hundreds of infections. The postponement of the Tabligh gathering was announced by the head of Goa Regency, Adnan Prishta Ishan, early today following a public backlash. Meanwhile, police are in the midst of tracking down another 4,000 participants of a Tabligh gathering held last month at the Masjid Sri Petaling who have yet to come forward to be tested for COVID-19. Defence Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob advised these participants to come voluntarily for the screenings before stern actions are taken against them.
Saya faham ada kebimbangan terhadap kumpulan tabligh yang masih lagi tidak dikesan, seramai 4,000 lagi yang tidak dikesan. Pihak polis telah pun membuat keputusan untuk mereka sendiri mengesan kumpulan tabligh yang masih belum tampil untuk membuat saringan dan sebagainya. Dan saya juga meminta kepada kumpulan tabligh yang belum dikesan ini supaya datang sendiri ke pusat-pusat kesihatan untuk membuat pemeriksaan dan sebagainya tanpa perlu dicari oleh pihak polis dan sebagainya.
Now, the government has allowed businesses in the critical manufacturing sector to operate during the movement control order period to ensure that the basic needs and services for the people are not affected. International Trade and Industry Minister Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin Ali said although this is important to ensure uninterrupted supplies, the manufacturing industry is required to observe strict guidelines to guarantee quality products for the people. Now, in a posting on his official Facebook, Datuk Seri Muhammad Azmin said the guidelines include the practice of social distancing and sanitation process for workers in the manufacturing sector. Now, he also listed important products categorized under the critical sector, including local and imported food and drinks, household items, pharmaceuticals and medical devices and operating equipment. Now, also listed are oil and gas, chemical products and materials, electrical and electronic products, and petrochemical materials. Now, the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation is collaborating with the relevant ministries in efforts to find an antidote to COVID-19. Now, this will be done through the Malaysia Genome Institute, or MGI, which is conducting researches to identify the complete genetics of the COVID-19 virus. Deputy Science, Technology and Innovation Minister Ahmad Amzad Hashim said the ministry is focusing on the formulation of treatment and preventive methods.
Seluruh jentera penyelidikan kita sedang round the clock untuk melakukan kajian terhadap sampel-sampel yang telah kita terima. Setakat ni ada dalam 6 sampel semua, dan sekarang ni dengan lebih banyak kes yang kita terima, lebih banyak sebab dia bukan satu jenis, dia ada banyak jenis. Dia jenis virus yang bermutasi.
The genome sequencing developed in Malaysia on the COVID-19 virus will be deposited in the National Centre for Biotechnology Information in the United States, which is an international database for the development of vaccine for the infection. Meanwhile, China has sent medical aid to Malaysia to help fight the ongoing COVID-19 outbreak in the country. In a brief Facebook post, the Embassy of the People's Republic of China in Malaysia confirmed that the first batch of medical materials from China was on the way to Sungai Buloh Hospital. Its Facebook page today also shared photographs of individuals loading boxes onto a lorry, followed by the lorry on the road. A sticker bearing the flags of the two nations could be seen on the medical aid boxes transported by lorries to the hospital. The move earned praises and expressions of gratitude from many Facebook users. Now, there will be sufficient supply of essential goods throughout the movement control order period, according to Deputy Secretary General of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry, KPDNHEP, Dr. Alauddin Sidal. Based on inspections and monitorings, there has been no more panic buying.
Pemantauan kita pada semalam, kita KPDNHEP kita mempunyai pejabat di seluruh negeri dan juga di setiap cawangan, dan kita mendapat laporan daripada pejabat-pejabat cawangan dan juga negeri di seluruh negara bahawa keadaan panic buying ataupun pembelian panik ini telah pun reda semalam, maknanya ia tidak berlaku lagi lah, dan suasana telah pulih. Dan ini kerana rakyat juga menyedari bahawa perintah kawalan pergerakan ini sebenarnya bukanlah bermaksud mereka tidak boleh membeli barangan. Pasar raya, kedai-kedai yang menjual keperluan, pasar awam, kedai sebenika apa semua masih terus dibuka. Ini membolehkan mereka membeli barangan dalam bentuk keperluan yang semasa lah, tanpa memerlukan mereka untuk membeli dalam bentuk yang banyak untuk simpanan. Jadi apabila berlaku lagi perkara yang sama, pembeli membeli dalam kuantiti yang banyak, ini menyebabkan pihak pengusaha pasar raya ini perlu mendapatkan bekalan daripada DC ataupun gudang mereka. Yang ini memang memerlukan sedikit masa untuk mereka membawa bekalan daripada gudang untuk ke premis perniagaan mereka. Jadi itu yang menampakkan seolah-olah seperti mana ia kosong, tetapi ia tidak bermaksud bahawa bekalan makanan itu terputus ataupun tiada.
Speaking after appearing as a guest of Selamat Pagi Malaysia program on TV1, he said as of now, KPDNHEP had not detected any increase in prices of goods. The ministry will continue its periodic inspections to ensure no price manipulations by traders. He further reiterated that KPDNHEP will monitor online traders since there was a high demand for online food delivery in the wake of the movement control order. Now, employees are urged to lodge police reports if their employers acted against the movement control order. As outlined by the National Security Council, only main and essential services are allowed to run their operations during the period. Ayub Khan Maidin Piche said all information regarding this matter have been disseminated and broadcast by local media. As such, Dato' Ayub Khan said police will not hesitate to take action against employers found in defiance of the order.
Setakat ni belum lagi ada. Semalam kita dah buat start rendahan kita daripada MTV, URB ya. Daripada laporan kita dapat memang semua pusat-pusat hiburan, restoran, tempat yang sepatutnya tutup memang dah tutup.
And that concludes this evening's edition of News on 2. In our top story, COVID-19 cases in Malaysia hit 900 with 110 new infections. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Jessica Lee. Stay tuned to TV2 and have a pleasant evening. Stay safe.